which is that there are some things that, some things I don't like altogether, but there's some things I think you and I both agree. I don't know if you do on all of these, but some of the things that Trump has ideas for, like Europe should pay for their own defense. Yeah, they should. They're rich. Border security, equity, completely replacing the idea of equality. I mean, some things, maybe biological men should not be competing with women. Lots of things. One of those things on the list of things which I think are pretty good ideas. I don't want Venezuelan gang members here either.
All right, everybody, strap up because we've got a doozy today that's sure to shake things up. Bill Maher, yes, the Bill Maher actually agreed with Donald Trump on several hot-button issues.
Gang members have initiations where they have to kill a rando to get their teardrop tattoo. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm for getting rid of... But here, put yourself in the shoes of somebody who doesn't follow politics that closely. And they're Venezuelan gang members. Why are we even arguing about this? They shouldn't be in this country. This guy's finally doing something about it. He's kicking them out. And one judge told him to stop. Why is it that one judge anywhere can say, oh, a president can't do this? I mean, that's something that's a little abstruse to a lot of people.
Look, I think you can make the argument. The question is, can you get to where people are listening to the argument? The thing about the election, the thing about politics right now, is Donald Trump wins people who don't like to think about politics, right? That's very, very clear in all the polling. If you follow the news, you voted for the Democrats, by and large. If you don't follow the news, you vote.
Can you believe it? This remarkable unity on critical matters like defense expenditure supervised by Europe and the pressing need for stricter border security has jaws dropping and eyes widening all over the political landscape. Maher's opinion on deporting violent gang members even has people who fiercely oppose Trump scratching their heads in disbelief. It's an era that's turning heads, testing alliances, and sparking the fires of political discussion.
Below 50, that's not horrible.
I have to say, I do not care about the economy if the government in this country claims it can break down anyone's doors, seize anyone with no due process, put them on a plane and send them to a foreign jail where who knows what's going to happen to them. I want to say the last person in this country who did that was called George III. This is fundamental to this country's survival, to the meaning of this country. We do not let people violate people's security without due process, without law. Period. I know I'm hyped up about this. I know they're not necessarily citizens. I know that some of them, a lot of them, are horrible people that shouldn't be here. But some of them are not. The whole point of this is that innocent people are caught up in this when they should not be, when you are not giving them any chance to prove that they shouldn't be there.
Again, but can
Sorry,
calm down. Jesus Christ.
This is America. I'm an immigrant to this country.
I understand.
That's why I came here, because this country is a country of freedom.
But again,
and he's telling us it isn't.
I agree.
Sorry.
We're all on the same page. Stop yelling at us.
All right, so let's delve deeper into exactly what Bill Maher was talking about during that panel discussion. It's like he suddenly decided to turn the political world upside down by expressing support for ideas many of us typically associate with Donald J. Trump. Now, that might be the last thing you'd expect from someone like Maher, right? But hey, here we are. Bill Maher, widely known for his sharp critiques of liberal politics, took everyone by surprise.
This is really bad news for Democrats. 2030 reapportionment, there's a group called the American Redistricting Project, and in 5 years we will be redistricting. California is projected to lose 3 seats, New York 2, also going to lose a seat, Minnesota, Oregon, Rhode Island, Illinois, all blue states. Who's getting these? Texas, Florida, Idaho, and Utah. I mean, this looks like game over, and the reason why people are voting with their feet is a lot of what your book is about. Taxes and regulation. I certainly been screaming about it forever. I did 3 years with a sign here that said, how long is it going to take me to get my solar hooked up? 3 years. Talking about it on television in this state. You couldn't do it. This state has almost 400,000 regulations. I just put in a new roof because the fire, I thought, oh, let's get a roof that's not going to burn up. 2 inspections. Why are you inspecting my roof? It's my f***ing roof. If it falls on me, that's my problem. And we're taxed more than any other state. People are leaving these kind of states for places where they feel the heavy breath of government on them. It's not that hard for Democrats to understand this, but they seem to be incapable of doing anything about it.
During this address, he didn't hold back as he expressed support for deporting violent gang members. I mean, these aren't your usual jaywalkers we're talking about. No, these are dangerous criminals with deep ties to gangs, and Maher seems to strongly advocate for getting them out of the country. These gangs, let's be honest, have histories of extreme violence, and their presence is a real menace to everyday citizens. And I think Maher simply couldn't stay silent about it anymore. His rationale? Well, first off, he explained the link between these gangs and the dreadful influence they bring. You know, with initiations where Maher claims they have to commit horrific acts just to be accepted. This isn't fiction, people. These are real facts, and it's deeply unsettling to hear them laid out so bluntly. So, Maher questioned aloud, why should the United States of America be a haven for such elements? But it's not just the gang problem that's catching Maher's attention. He then delved into the broader consequences of immigration policy and how in certain cases, there seems to be a troubling imbalance between law, order, and preserving compassion. Maher asks why it's so difficult to deport individuals who are clearly breaking laws when they're not even citizens. Yet here's where it gets even more interesting. Maher didn't just stop at immigration. He widened his focus to the inefficiencies and painfully slow pace of government regulation. And if you're living in a state drowning in rules, you've probably experienced this firsthand. He shared an experience many might relate to. It took him years just to get solar panels installed on his roof. Regulations upon regulations with no end in sight. Annoying, isn't it? So many bureaucratic hurdles that getting anything done feels like wading through quicksand. And this is when Maher hit the nail on the head with a major point. Voter behavior is shaped by how government policies impact their daily lives. With these restrictions weighing heavily on individuals, isn't it understandable that voters might gravitate towards someone who promises to cut through bureaucratic red tape? Whether you support Trump or not, Maher's critique highlights underlying issues that resonate with many Americans. And what about the growing migration of people from historically blue states to red ones? Bill Maher's blunt take on high taxes, strict regulations, and government inefficiency is stirring debate, especially as liberal strongholds face population decline. His willingness to find common ground with Trump is shocking to some, but may signal a shift in political alignments. Are these surprising alliances driven by common sense, or just more political theater? So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.